Good evening. Hi. Oh my God. Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Are we having fun yet? We doing all the things? Is this Thursday treating us well? I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope we're jamming. I hope all the craziness is not getting to you. And I hope you are staying grounded. I hope you are staying grounded. There's so much free energy out right now. If you are not grabbing it, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing if we're not grabbing it. Welcome in, guys. How is everybody doing? I hope everyone's having a great day. Aw, it's all good, Miss K. Don't worry. It'll flip up. It'll switch up. Time to harness. It's time to harness all that energy. You are a natural transmuter. Tell yourself that. I can alchemize anything in front of me for my greatest, highest good. Own that. And you will watch how shit gets easier for you. Tell every cell in your body, literally, this is happening. Oh, thank you so much, Veggie. Or Vegeta Hot Stepper. I'm sorry, I got your name wrong. But I appreciate you. I'm glad he loves me. I'm glad he loves me. It's good to hear. I grew up Catholic, so it's good to hear. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope everyone's having a good day. Staying grounded in hermit mode? Oh, hell. Oh, hell. Rye, is it over with Al? You know, I can't feel into Al's energy without his energetic permission. But I can do like a love relationship read for you if you would like one. But all reads are paid today. So everything's $15.55. You know what I mean? And honestly, it's okay, Dream Angel. Like, if you're in hermit mode, it's okay. A lot of people are going inward right now. A lot of people are doing their inner discovery. There's a whole subsection of the collective who's getting rocked right now. And it doesn't mean that, you know, they're not in the right place. No, it just means that they're coming to their big revelations right now. Right now. Their, oh my God, their tower, their holy hella moments is happening right now because of all the amplified energy and everything that's on their side to make the movement move is right now. Is right now. I feel like dancing, although we don't have like the best dancing songs on here, unless you're being a little thug. So I hope everyone's having a good day. And keys, don't kill me. I'm still using the broken deck until I completely shred it in half. And then I will use the deck that you so nicely gifted to me as a replacement because we homies. You know what I'm saying? If you are in here, please tap that screen. Please share the live. It does help. It helps immensely. If you guys have collective questions, go ahead and drop them down in the comment section. Let's answer them. I think we might be shadow banned right now. I don't know why, but I think we might be. So the more you can help me get out on FYP, the better. Because then maybe we can kick this shadow ban to the curb. Kick this shadow ban to the curb. But it's all good. So if you guys have collective questions that don't require me to feel into you about anything, go ahead, drop them down. Let's get a discussion going while we wait. The list is open. We are doing reads tonight for 15:55, and I feel like my team is here and ready, and I feel like it could be a good day. 4-4, all about that mirror, looking inward, growing in that stability. So if you've been doing the work, your stability should be getting pretty solid right now. Holy Lord. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting us in the way that this collective does. It really is great. Like, if you were to ask me and Keys a little bit ago if we thought that we'd be doing this right now, we would tell you, hell no. So just all the love, all the conversation, all the questions, all the communication, it really does. It makes what we do fun, and it makes what we do interactive. And we're more than just cards and this and that, and talking to everybody allows us to grow that bigger, so we do appreciate it that we can do all of those things. Marina, will I get any clients on my live today? I don't know. I could try to feel into it for you, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think that that's something you need cards for. I'm going to be honest, I think you just need to have trust and faith in yourself, and you need to show up with no expectations. Because when you show up with no expectations, you're going to be happy, even if you have 20 people talking to you, you know what I mean, and maybe nobody buys anything, like, So sometimes we hurt ourselves and we hurt our own growth and our own level of success by, kind of putting expectations on it. But if you go in there with an attitude like it's going to be a good live, I bet you it will be. I bet you it will be. That's how powerful you are. I bet you it will be. You know what I mean? No worries. No worries. Don't get stumped. You are very powerful. You just got to tell yourself that. You are very powerful. And if you tell yourself that you're going to have a great life, no matter what that looks like, and abundance flows your way each and every day, and you get paid for existing, and people who need you the most find you easily, that kind of a stuff, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. Like, don't even fret. Oh, we're not doing this sad song. A no. That's a little too sad. Yes, dude, I love the fact that we did that, because that's one of the best things that I love to say, because then when anything remotely small happens, it literally just feels fantastic. Like, I get paid for existing. I about break my neck just to find a penny laying by my head. Oh, well, I got paid for almost dying. Like sometimes you just gotta flip it. You gotta flip the script. Sometimes you just gotta look at things differently, you know what I mean? Like, but then you know what? But then you just get blown away by people who give to you for nothing, who just reach out and go, that was awesome, here. And you weren't even directing, you weren't doing a read for them, you weren't feeling into energy for them, you weren't breaking something down for them. They just enjoyed you being you so much that it helped. And they were like, what can I do to help this person? And they donated. That is wild. It is wild. You want to talk about feeling good is when people just send love to send love. You know what I mean? But that's exactly it. That's your abundance. That is your abundance. I've had people do it. I put out a video and then someone's like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden I get a ping to my Cash App. And I'm like, what in the world? And then Cash App doesn't really let you send big thank yous. So I just have to pick an emoji, which always kills me on the inside. So I always try to find their comment to say thank you. But it's 100% the truth. You get what you give. If you give good shit, you get good shit. That's how that works. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be sunshine and roses all the time, but you have to be authentic, and you have to stand behind what you do. If you can say that you get on live every single day and you stand behind what you do, and you're doing it with the best intentions, an open heart, and no bullshit, then you're going to be just fine. Because literally the universe reciprocates who you are. It reciprocates authenticity. So if you are getting on here authentically and being like, this is it, then you're going to get reciprocated. You know what I mean? In one way, shape, or form. Abundance is anything of excess. So if you think of abundance as anything in excess and everything's energy, you could be pretty damn abundant. You could be pretty damn abundant. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of people talk about self-concept and this, that, and the other. And that's good to work with. Like, self-concept is important in a certain, way. But it's like, you have to believe the shit you say. And I feel like a lot of people talk without really feeling the energy behind the words that they say. And part of what we do here, especially in private one-on-ones, is feeling the energy behind what you say. Are you just speaking to speak, or are you speaking with purpose? You know what I mean? Are you telling everybody everything's great and you're dying inside? Because that's not being authentic. And I know my collective watches my ass get on here, and sometimes I look like who did it and what the for. You know what I mean? Like, but that's it. And I'll tell you, be like, man, it's been a rough day, or man, everything feels kind of wavy right now, or we're gonna pump it up, but that's authenticity, because not everybody has a great day, and nobody's asking you to be perfect, and you do not have to live up to the standards that people put you on, or the pedestal either. So even though we come on here and people think, we're like mindless machines and we're here to serve, but we're also human. So I get my off day, just like everybody else. I get my down in the dumps day, just like everybody else. I get moments of sadness. I get moments of anger. I get we're not all sunshine and roses. Absolutely not. Like, it's balance. It's not love and light out the butt. So just remember, what you hold yourself to is all that matters, dude. You know what I mean? What you hold yourself to is all that matters, bro. Doesn't matter what anyone thinks of you. There are 7 billion people on this planet. One person doesn't like you. I don't have to resonate with everybody, and I think that's what people don't have, some people don't realize, is if I don't resonate with you and I do something for you and you're not happy about it, right? If you're not happy about it, I would rather just give it to you back. You know what? It didn't work out. I can't do for you what you wish. Here you go. You know what I mean? That's the truth of it. You don't have to please people. But you'd be surprised how many people find your honesty refreshing. Because they always have this innate sense of being sold something, or being convinced of something, being pressured into something, or someone lying to them. We don't got that much time in the physical every go around for people to be lying to people. And it's just just honesty all the way. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me check. I'm just over here. Just boop. Alrighty. So, everybody, you're new in my room, so welcome, first of all. But everybody gets an option. So, I can either feel into something in specific for you, and my flame just went out. Hold up. Okay. Okay, team. Okay, apparently they just don't want incense for you. Oh my god, dude. I know you guys are hearing the flick sound. Okay, we're gonna try this side. Maybe it's just. Dang. Whoa, that was wild. Wild. I like this before I start, but they're hand rolled, so sometimes I don't roll them. Don't get that twisted. But sometimes it just I don't know. I don't know if they just roll them weird, and sometimes they hit a dead point. But okay, we got all the fire back. So you get an option just like everybody else. And in case you ever want to listen back to your read, I do post all the lives within 24 hours to YouTube, time-stamped with your handle or your first name, so that way you can find it easily. It's dated and all that good stuff. So, but we can either do a topic, or a question, or we can just go for like a general. Totally up to you. Just let me know what you would like to do. Totally your option. Let's do topic. I'll get a reading on my business. Oh, okay. All right. All right. Alrighty. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Alright guys, so reading in progress right now. List is open. We're doing reads for $15.55. We have Cash App, we have Venmo. Collective questions are always welcome in my room. Just keep in mind, collective questions do not require me to feel into you. They're more general about a spiritual topic or problem or something like that. Alrighty. Any reading, business advice, financially incoming. I'm going to be honest, right off the bat, they're asking you about your hesitation. Right off the bat, my team is sitting here like, why the hesitation? And I feel as though they're asking you to ask yourself that question, and not from your brain, but from your soul. And me and Keys were talking about this afternoon when we went dual. They're asking you to ask yourself from your soul, why do you think it can't happen? That's what they're saying. Why do you think it can't happen? What about this for you doesn't seem like something that could ever happen for you? It's like the brain knows that this should happen for you. It's like the brain understands that this could happen. It's within your grasp, mentally, rationally, it's in your grasp. Your brain's like, yeah, we could do this. Because I'm this person, I could do it. But there's this part of like this hiccup to the feeling of being like, I don't know. Like, I almost like, it's like bringing me back to some of the stuff that I struggle with sometimes. Like I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I believe I can do it, but because we're rational people, it's like, but prove me right, please. And there's just this bit of hesitation that they want you to work on clearing out. There's just something about this hesitation to the energy that they want you to get rid of, because they're talking about this being a potential opportunity for you in particular to bridge the gap into your receiving era. That's the way that I want to say it. Is this a newer venture for you? Or are you just taking like new liberties with it? Sorry, I'm a natural transmuter. Just give me a second. Or are you taking like new liberties with it? Because I do have the Fool card out here, followed by my money sign. But it's just, I just feel like you're still in the process of balancing out your shit. And I mean that in the best way possible. I literally mean that there's still something here that hangs in the balance. There's still something here that it's almost as though you're confident sometimes, but it's like your feelings aren't quite behind it. Your like inner flame wants to be lit all the way, but then it's like sometimes it's like putting that movement to it to where it's keeps you going, like lights the fire in you. It's like your brain gets in the way. Weren't we just talking about confidence? Like, weren't we just talking about confidence? Like, I just feel as though, I truly feel as though that you're attempting to, I want to say like better manage things. That's the way that I want to say it. I want to say better manage things. And I feel like you had to go inward to figure out what it was that was causing you to have, I don't want to say bad balancing skills, but girl, I'm going to say it. Bad balancing skills. Because there's just something here. I don't know if you just kind of let things fall to the wayside. And I'm going to be honest. I don't know if you spending your money on a masculine. I don't know if you spending money somewhere else and you're kind of having to reel yourself back in. But I'm going to be real honest. I have a ton of masculine energy on my table right now. And as much of a thinker and a rational person as you are, I do not feel as though you are sitting right now as masculine energy dominant. So I do not feel as though right now they would represent you that way. Although I do feel as though you are stepping into your structure. So when I have some of these masculines out here, I do think that this is you bridging into your structure. And I think that this is almost like an inner-outer battle for you, in that in order to better manage your finances, you truly have to better manage you on the inside. I don't want to call you impulsive, but sometimes I want to say you a little bit impulsive. And I want to say you almost like a bleeding heart sometimes, into where like you see somebody wanting or needing something in your mind and you go, I can fill this gap. That's the way that I want to say it. I can fill this cup. I can fill this gap. I can do for him because he can't do for him. That's the way that I want to say this. I can do for him because right now he can't do for him. But my team's, your team's funny. Like, your team's funny. Your team's funny. I was going to say my team's laughing, but your team's funny. And I mean that in the way that your team is bringing me back to that, like, that video from forever ago. It's like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. And it's almost like you're almost too kind. Like, you almost give too much for your own good sometimes. And you've kind of started to have to figure out where maybe that hindered you. Maybe that has hindered you in the past and has kind of stunted you doing what you want to do. And I think I give up on the incense because I'm staring at the incense because they told me to look at the incense and it's blown out again. So I just feel like that's like a symbol for you, dude. I really do. I feel like somebody has blown out your flame. I feel like somebody has kind of had a little bit of defeat moment, and you had to go back in and figure out exactly what was going on. And as I said, okay. I love teams. As I'm saying, I feel like you had to go back in, and I feel like you had to relight your own flame because you were kind of in a little bit of this struggle swamp, and there was an imbalance not only in your relationship, but your giving and receiving. You were giving more than you were receiving, and that's what kind of kept you a little bit stuck. And as I said, that your flame went out, and you kind of had to relight it yourself, and this is part of your balance, and this is part of your scales, and this is part of you getting back to you. I literally have my energy card here in reverse. I literally have my Ace of Wands in reverse. Like, it just doesn't get any more fun than this. It doesn't get any more fun than this. So let's see. We got new beginnings with a money card. It's all about generosity. It's all about helping people. Let's see. Let's ask that flat out question. What do you have? Do you have finances coming in? Do you have finances coming in? I'm gonna be honest. Your team just shouted, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it, and what are you willing to do for it? Because they're talking about, like, your longevity of hard work. That is what's gonna have to kick in right now. And your trust, and I don't even trust. I mean, I guess a little bit trust, but they said trust and faith, but I feel like the emphasis is on faith. I don't feel like the emphasis is on trust, because I do feel like you trust you. I do feel like you trust you, but I feel like it's almost like giving your trust to something a little bit larger than you sometimes is troublesome. And this is what they're asking you to do, because you have to kind of let go of a little bit of control of how it comes in, what it looks like when it comes in. And I feel like this is part of your, like, trust, faith, learning journey paired with your receivership. How you judge yourself is how the universe judges you. That's the way that I want to tell you this. How you judge yourself is how the universe judges you. So the more you sit in indecision, the more you sit in a lack set of, like, worth, the universe is going, bet. That's exactly what, yep, you think you're not, yep, perfect. And it wants to be accommodating to what you want. That's the way that I want to say it. And I honestly, dude, I feel like you've been through the trenches. I'm going to be real honest. My back hurts. Like, you're making my back hurt. And don't even say sorry, because I can already, like, hear you. Don't do it. It happens for me. That's how I read energy. You are fine. But I literally want to tell you that, like, your fatigue, your exhaustion, like, you're like, oh my God, trudging through, and we're here now. It's purposeful. You're resilient as a motherfucker. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. Your past failures haven't been failures. They've been stepping stones to your greatest strength, is the way that I want to say this. They've been stepping stones to your greatest strength. Your team's talking about how you don't give up easily. You are not somebody who gives up easily. Even to the point where it almost hurts you to keep going, or it hurts you to stand your ground. You do it anyway. I want to call you stubborn, but with all the love. Excuse me, transmutation. I want to call you stubborn, but with all the love. And they're telling you you're going to have to finish what you started in order to see the outcome you're hoping for right now. They are testing you. They are testing you to hold to your stability. So let's see, if you hold to your stability. If you hold to your stability, we have my escaping destruction card, which is fantastic. So you're escaping your destruction, your self-destructive needs, your self-sacrifice, defeating kind of a pattern. This is fantastic. So let's see, if you stick to it, right? Like, let's see, look, we're hearing the message. If you stick to it. If you hold on. This is just fantastic. I want to tell you, if you stick to it, you have risen. That's the way I want to say it. And that sounds so like, but that's exactly the way they're saying it. And I feel like it's like risen off of the burden card. Because in order to stick to it, you'd have to change your perspective. You'd have to be so disciplined that you don't waver. Wavering can't be the main energy here. And second, I'm talking about letting go of burdens and changing your perspective on things. We literally have the Hangman out here, and they're talking about you're going to have to change how you look at the ungrounded, unstable masculine, because he cannot be the thing holding you back. And I know that sounds bad, and I know that might hurt you, but that's what they're saying you need to hear. He cannot be the thing holding you back from what you're supposed to do. He cannot be the thing holding you back from what brings you joy. He cannot be the thing that we see as the outward problem that stops your physical abundance or stops your growth, stops your movement. Your team says it's not allowed. And this is why I have my Tower card out here. It's not allowed. Because right now they're not allowing it. I feel like your Hangman and your Tower goes hand in hand with your Justice, hand in hand with your Balance. And I'm going to be honest, after the Tower, I have material gain. After the Tower, I have abundance. After the Tower, I have finances coming in. But I'm going to be honest, they have a whole lot more to say than just you get money, girl. They have a whole lot more to say than this is beneficial. They're saying it has the potential to be beneficial. But they're not saying it's coming easy, because there's other things that they want you to focus on and create and do within self that brings us forward. We just ended your read, dude, with the Magician, which is literally, as I said, what they want you to create. We have the Magician out here, literally using all the tools, all the pieces and parts of self, the creativity, your skill through all the resiliency that you've had to endure and had to do. And the Wheel of Fortune, upright, good fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, upright, literally good fortunes, blessings. Like, it's coming full circle. Like Miss Keys always says, it's coming full circle. But it's not without its trials, dude. Like, it's not without its trials. But I just get you I get you sitting here at the point of self-evaluation. I get you sitting here at the point of self-reflection, soul-searching, and you're moving out, or attempting at least to move out of a lack mindset, of a this is happening to me, and you're starting to re-grab this fire energy by the horns and be like, no, and this is part of your confidence. You know, this is where your masculinity starts to work for you. And I mean that with all the love. You are, I want to say you're feminine, but I'm going to be real honest. I don't know that for sure, but I want to say you're feminine. So I'm sorry if I'm misrepresenting you. Like, oops. But like, I almost just blurted that out without actually knowing. Like, I want to say you're feminine. But you have masculine energy in you, and it's just, you're using your fire now, and you're not allowing anything to put it out right now. And they're just asking you to maintain that frequency. To maintain it, and then on the backside of kind of your balance within, balance with money, and all that good stuff. All that good stuff is when you get in the backside of the tower and you have your success. You know what I mean? Do you have any questions? I'm going to scroll back through and read your comments because I don't read them while I'm reading. Let me just write down spiritual. Okay. What? Okay, hold on, wait. I'm gonna read all your comments. Hold on. I've been working on healing and balancing my finances. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm not far enough. Hold on. Hold on. Subscribe to YouTube. Okay. Anything financial coming in. I'm hesitant because I don't get a lot of money and I have to pay monthly for my website. I'm scared I would be able to keep up with my business. I just have a lot of fear and doubt, and I also grew in poverty and a lot of abuse physically, mentally surrounding money recently. Yes, it's how I am, and I believe it when I see it, but prove me right. Dude, like, I'm gonna be honest, like 4 months ago, Keys? 5 months ago, maybe? And it's all what you put in it, dude. It's all what you put in it, especially where, thank you so much for the gifts, especially where social media comes in. This is part of the platform that you just can't do with a brick and mortar place. You know what I mean? You know? I have my business for 5 years, but I'm trying, and websites don't have to cost a lot. I built mine for free, and I just paid for the domain. So I paid to launch it, and I paid for the domain for a couple years. And it honestly was super reasonable. It was super, super reasonable. And I mean reasonable, like a couple $100, like $200-300. Not like for a couple years, not like thousands. So you can totally do it. You know what I mean? I have my business for 5 years, but trying new things right now. I'm a tarot reader and I own my own metaphysical shop. Have had it for a while, just trying new thing. I've been working on healing and balancing my finances and getting my shit together. Dude, that's so awesome. What's the name of your metaphysical shop? Go ahead and shout it out in the comments, because I'm sure if somebody's in your area, they would love to visit your metaphysical shop. Yeah, I did have a bad balancing skills I've been working on. I've been spending money on myself. I have a shopping addiction. Okay. But my dad controls my finances, and he is abusive, so he forced me to spend my money. Oh, Jesus. And he doesn't support my business. Well, I'm so sorry about all of that. That's hard to freaking deal with. I'm impulsive. That's with my boyfriend in the past. He was now getting his stuff together, and that was in the past. Okay. Welcome in. Welcome in, Soplinger. I'm trying to figure out how to stop doing that. My dad blows out my flame. I want it really bad. And I've been putting in so much work, and I will keep putting in work. I trust myself, and I just don't trust the universe to give me what I want financially. Thank you. Thank you for the share, and welcome in, little ducky. The universe is responding to my frequency. I get a lot of back pain, and yeah, I work at the time. I'm going to be honest. You got to clear out your heart chakra. Your back pain is because of one of two things. One of which is physical burden that you place on yourself, both physical and mental, that you play on a loop. that just throughout the day you just sit there with how things are and how it might not work out and this and that and the other. And you got to remember, we are powerful beings, and if we can manifest things for our highest good, we can manifest things for our lowest low. And the more you focus on that something's not coming true, you are feeding energy to a timeline in which it doesn't work out for you. So the best thing that I tell people that they can do is stop feeding a timeline that they don't want to have happen. We're all rational, logical people. We can spend 1 hour on our plan B. And then that's it. Like, you get one moment for a plan B because some people need a little bit of that stability in their life. Like, have your default plan, that's fine. But then put it aside. We don't need to keep revisiting the default plan. We do not need to revisit what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be honest. Anxiety is pulling the past into the present. Worry is projecting the past into the future. And I really want you to think about that. Because when you worry about something, you're worrying about it because it happened a certain way in the past. And if we are worrying about the future, 1, because it's out of our control, or 2, because history could repeat itself, that means we're not staying in the present moment. The whole goal is to stay in the present moment. And the other part of I went to go move on and then they yelled at me. The other part of the back pain is quite physically your heart chakra. Your heart chakra is a little bit, I hate the word blocked. Is a little bit stagnant, a little bit stuck. You have some walls and you have some unhealed things that need addressed that reside in the heart chakra. Some feelings that are uncomfortable, some things to come to terms with. And when the energy has no place to go, a lot of times you'll feel pain radiating outward through the back. And a lot of times when people feel like they feel better, sometimes they feel it radiating out the front of their chest, but a lot of times when it's a burden or a blockage or something that is stagnant or not moving the most optimal way. I don't want to use the word correct because I know the way you pick apart words. Correct, like, so optimal, kind of a pattern for energy. You might feel that pressing out the back as far as pain in the physical body, but it's actually pain in the light body. So it's just a hint at dis-ease within the light body, which can cause physical pain in the physical body. I have a lot of feminine energy, but I sit with my masculine and my feminine, though. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, I'm glad that helps. Hey, Miss Megan. Yeah, I commented it so much. No worries. Thank you for all the gifts. Thank you. It is much appreciated. Does Lexi want to call her? Does want me to call her? I can't pull on someone else's energy. I'm so sorry. I won't be able to answer that for you. It's online. Yes, I hold a lot of pain in my heart chakra because I keep all my traumas inside and have a hard time letting go. I just need to stop doing that. No. Yes, you do, but you need to not belittle yourself for doing that. It was a coping mechanism that you adopted young in life because that was the only way you knew how. And that is okay. Too many times people shit on themselves and their younger perspectives. Your younger perspective did the best they could with what they had. So sometimes when we start bottling things, it's sometimes evident of an unsafe environment, either energetically or physically, or it's traumatic, and our brain has a fail-safe that logs it away and clicks it off because it's too damaging to replay because it may harm the vessel. The brain's objective is to keep the vessel alive and safe. So sometimes when we're really little, we got to kind of cut ourselves some slack. And a lot of times, especially since we grew up in a household where our foundations as a child and early teen are built upon our family or our home life, a lot of times they're traits or mechanisms that have been adopted through your parents or parental figures, or just anybody who might have been above you in the ranking of the ladder of things. And a lot of times it's a learned behavior passed down, whether somebody sat you down and was like, this is what we do, or you just watched everybody in your environment do the same thing in their own unique way. So it's okay. Step number 1 is don't shit on yourself. You know what I mean? Like, step 1 is always don't shit on yourself. Through a lot of trauma, so my brain blocked it out instead of healing it. Yeah. Because I don't want to remember those things, and it has been helping, but it's been hard resisting those traumas. Yeah. Yeah. But you just got to get yourself to the point, like, I have a friend, and he says the only way out is through. And he's not wrong. Right now, you're in the middle of a minefield. This is the way he always explained it. Right now, you're in the middle of a minefield. Smack dab in the middle. You could go backwards. But then you're going to have to go all the way back, travel the same distance, get back in the middle. And then you're no further than you were before. Or you can travel the same distance and do it in a forward movement and get out of the minefield. But the only way out is through. So the only way to get past the trauma is to feel it, is to relive it, is to break it down, is to understand it, to be able to get past it. Ignoring it hasn't helped, and it's clear because you're here. And it's okay. But you have an awareness now, so you can't hide behind a lack of awareness. Because you have the awareness, you're a very smart person. So now you got to ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What is stopping me from acting on my awareness? Yeah, it's okay. I know, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm overloading you. I'm just like, I'm in like mentorship, like, I don't know, mindset right now. So like, I don't know why, but we do more than cards. In case you were wondering, we do more than cards. But I hope that helps you, and I hope that gives you a little bit of hope and just on your journey. But just don't stop. Like, don't stop. It's this is what you want to do, just don't stop. You can scale it, change it, edit it, do it in an authentic way that works for you, but just don't stop. All right, well, good. Yeah, we do a little bit of everything. I'm a big energy person. I'm a medium and blah blah. But I just do cards for funsies, and because people really like the designs, and it keeps my hands busy. So, yeah. But thank you so much. I thank you for all your time, your energy, and for allowing your team over here and for us to chit chat for a little bit. It is much appreciated. No worries. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go check spaces, guys, so don't leave because I think I have 2 on my list right now. I will be right back. All right. You have a good night too, dude. You have a good night too. I have Miss Stephanie and then Mr. Shadow on the list. I have Miss Stephanie and then Mr. Shadow on the list. I'm going to see if I can relight this thing. So, Miss Stephanie, are you here? And if you are here, what can I do for you, madam? You know the drill. How can I be of assistance to you? Hey. I'm going to see if I can get this SOB to light. They're hand rolled, so sometimes they get a little like, you know. I know, sorry, hold on. I know you just said that it's been a week so far. I feel like this song is for you. It's Put Your Records On. And I encourage you to listen to it after we do this. Because I don't feel like you've had a week-ish. I feel like you've had a week of review and feeling. And I mean that in the best way possible. Because to me, it just feels as though you are trying hard. I just feel like I keep hearing someone go, I'm trying so hard. You're trying too hard. I want to tell you you're trying too hard. Almost, it's like this feeling of almost reaching perfection. It's literally this feeling of almost reaching perfection. You're not going to reach perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. Perfection is a perspective. So you have to ask yourself, why are you making the bar so high? Why are you making it so high that it's a struggle for you to reach it? And just because you're in review, just because you may be having a thought or a feeling that isn't super, super positive all the time, or maybe like a waiver, I want to maybe say a waiver every once in a while, or maybe you're reviewing the past, there's something about like this pullback. Are you part of the collective that's feeling their feelings right now? Because it just makes me feel as though you may get kind of down on yourself a little bit, maybe, for feeling. I still feel like someone just walked up to the blackboard and put a period in the middle of the blackboard, like, nope, that's the end of the sentence, for feeling. And that's kind of the way they're saying it. Like, ooh, ow. Heart space. But it's like they just walked up to the blackboard, put a dot on the blackboard, and was just like, for feeling, that's the end of the sentence. You didn't go backwards. I don't know if you've had the feeling like maybe you slipped up, maybe you backslid a little bit, maybe you went backwards. It's not that kind of backwards. You're going backwards to continue to unpack and go the next level to move forward. It's a purposeful backwards. You're not doing anything wrong. I feel like I hear someone saying that's a relief. That's a relief. That's a relief. You know, it's okay to be upset that something ended. That's what I want to say. I want to tell you that it's okay that something ended. It's okay to end a chapter, is kind of the way they're saying it. Like, it's okay to end a chapter. I'm not quite sure what we're talking about, but I feel like you know. I feel like you know what they're talking about. It's okay to end a chapter. And there's just a part of you that is relieved, and there's another part of you that is hurting. And they want you to honor both equally, because they're kind of talking about the celebration of the relief, which is fantastic. But they're telling you not to forget that you did care. Not to forget that at one point you cared a lot. At one point you cared more than one person could care. And they're almost kind of making me feel as though you feel bad sometimes for feeling relief. Is that weird? You feel bad sometimes for feeling relief, but then it's like you also are convincing yourself that you shouldn't feel sad. It's like a twofer. The victory card. Literally the victory card. Like, and it's just like, it's okay. Like, it's 100% okay. They want you to feel your feelings. They don't want you to think about your feelings. They don't want you to rationalize them. They don't want you to ignore them as if they're not there. Excuse me, transmutation. They want you to feel your feelings, and they want you to cut yourself some freaking slack. Cut yourself some slack. Hindsight's 20/20, but when you're in the thick of it, it's not that way. You did the best. This might just be the undertone of everybody's thing today. You did the best you could with what you had. You didn't have the knowledge, the awareness that you had before that you do now. That's called growth. But you did the daring thing. This is the way they're saying it. You did the daring thing and chose to do something about it. That's the way they're saying it. They're talking about your softness. They want you to be soft with yourself. They say you almost, I don't want to say you make allotted time. That's the way that I want to say it. It's like you allot time for feelings. That's the way that I want to say it. 5 minutes, my one pimp tier, and then onward. That's sorry, that was just kind of weird. But that's exactly the way that they're making it feel. It's almost like you usher past it. You're oh, next. Weren't we just talking about the end of things? We got the death card out here. Right after the victory card. So this death is not a... They're don't say that. It's not a halting loss. It's not a stop and pause loss. It's a rebirth. It's a begin again. And there's a part of this, I got my moon card out here, and there's a part of this that makes me feel like they want you to tap into your femininity. And I really do feel like you tapping into, I'm going to call it your star. Not the star, your star. You tapping into your star, your connection is what you need right now. That's the way that I want to say it. It's what you need right now. And you're only going to get it through your femininity, and you're only going to get it through your intuition. You're only going to get it through that soft side that sometimes you don't allow yourself to kind of feel through, is the way that I want to say it. That's 2 star cards out here, dude. That's 2 of them. Right now, you're balancing out your cups. You're balancing out your scales on the inside. They're saying correctly for the first time. And I feel like they're saying correctly for the first time because you're doing it solo. You're not relying on anybody else to balance them for you. You're finding the patience and the skill for you to do it yourself. I feel like your team's hinting at you to listen more. I feel as though... Shut up. The surrender card. Literally. I literally feel as though they're telling you to listen more. I feel like you're so... this work card. And now I have that song. Work in my head. It makes me feel like you're forging ahead, but the pause is necessary. I have this, you want all this fast forward, movement to be happening with this 8 of Wands, and you're just ready to run right into it. Next. I just keep hearing someone yell, next. It's giving me, you're doing so much transformation that it almost makes me want to say that you're, creating your next thing, is the way that I want to say it. You're creating your next thing, but they're just reminding you that the pause is purposeful because you're not done shape-shifting. You're not done transforming yet. So they want you to finish that first. And they're not saying stop and do nothing. That's not what they're saying. But they're saying the pause and the review, as much as you may hate it, is purposeful. And that's why they want you to listen. The pause is the listening. Because you're in the middle of transforming. You are in the middle of this. You are filtering out, you're finishing... Wait, hold on. You're finishing filtering out what wasn't yours. You're finishing filtering your light body from the attachments to things that weren't yours. They're saying that's not a process they want you to rush. That's not a process they want you to rush forward through. We have another intuition card in here. Shut up. I want to tell you, like, I literally want to tell you, I want to tell you to slow down. I feel as though you're working hard. I feel as though you're like, I want to say you're like manifesting your life away. Like you're trying to focus on the future, focus on what you want to bring in, focus on all of your like good and this and that. And it's almost like they're asking you to not push from your masculine, but to allow from your feminine. But you can't allow from your feminine until you hear what she needs. That almost hit me in the face. All that focus energy. Literally all that focus energy. Is it trust? Is it trust for you? Is it trust as well? Is it trust for you that we need to have our hands in it or it won't happen? That's kind of the way I want to say it. Is it trust for you? We need to have our hands in it. We need to be doing it or it won't happen. We need to be working on it every day or it won't happen. We need to put energy and everything into it or it won't happen. They're cautioning the balance. They're cautioning the balance, and I feel like that's why we have our temperance. They're cautioning you for balance. And they're saying they're cautioning you for balance because of the control aspect. And not in a shitty way. In an honest to God way. Like to allow is paired with trust, is paired with the ability to rein back in our need to be the doer of everything. It is the hardest thing to do for the feminines who have been in their masculine doing their whole life. It is so difficult. You are in the middle of your receiving. You are in the middle of your give back because you made choices. That's what they keep saying. Because you made choices that you did. Because you made choices that you did. Oof, I'm just dropping cards now. And it just makes me feel as though you're still transitioning through it. You're still transitioning through it. I want to tell you to set your sights higher, though. Like, this is where it gets kind of up. Like, they're telling you to slow down, to harness the moment, to accept the review, to listen to your feminine. And then I feel like they're like, just say it. I feel like the feminine in the background for you is telling you to aim higher. Like, I feel like there's just this high priestess kind of an energy here to you, to where I want to tell you, because you're transitioning the way you are, and because you're putting two halves of a whole together, and because you're trying to internally balance your scales and your cups and focus your intention and everything, into one focal point. She wants you not to cap yourself. That's the way that I want to say it. I almost feel like you're kind of settling on an easy goal. And I know that that's silly, but it's like a pat on the back goal is the way that I want to say it. Like, it's like a pat on the back goal so that we reach it and we feel good. I'm kind of hearing aim bigger. Like, I'm hearing think bigger. I'm hearing aim bigger. Imagine bigger. Like, she wants you to kind of bridge just a little bit higher. Almost like, I want to tell you, she wants you to, like, surprise yourself is the way that I almost want to say it. Like, she wants you almost to surprise yourself, because there's something about your crown right now. There's something about your crown that it just makes me feel as though part of your review is furthering, like, your connection, is the way that I want to say it. I feel like this is part of, like, your lightning bolt, part of, like, your breakthrough, part of, like, your connection to things that are maybe just a little bit bigger than you, is the way that I want to say it. And I feel like there's a stand up and clap moment that is going to happen on the backside, is the way that I want to say it. Like this stand up and hurrah myself. And I feel like grabbing this dragon deck. Did you ever think that you could lead by example? That's kind of what I want to ask you. Did you ever think that you would be leading by example one day? Woo! That you would be leading the pack, so to speak? Because that's what I want to tell you. Like, that's what I want to tell you. You're setting yourself up to lead the pack. And I don't mean that from an egotistical way. I mean there's somebody or something around you that you are inspiring in your sleep. That's the way that I want to tell you. Somebody, with you just being you, making the moves, there's somebody near you, close to you, you're just inspiring them. And it's not even to make similar moves. That's not even it. It's just the fact that you are mustering up the strength and courage and moving as if though it's easy. On the outside, I feel as though to others it may appear as though it's easy. Effortless is maybe the word that I want to say. Effortless, even though you may be screaming holy hell on the inside, there's something about the grace in which you flow. Like I'm seeing like a flowy dress, a flowy shirt. Like it's like the grace in which you move, whether you realize it or not. I really do feel as though there's somebody who is taking it all in, and you are like domino affecting like the courage in their life, and that's the way that I want to say it. The strutting your stuff in your life. You are coming to a head, like coming to a culmination point ahead of your transition right now. And that's why they just want you to go with the flow. Like, I feel the need to tell you that you're protected. So I don't know if you've ever had a fear of kind of falling on your face right now, or maybe not having all the answers. But I want to tell you you're protected in your seeking for balance. That's the way that I want to tell you. I want to call it your new routine. In your seeking for balance in your new routine, you're protected. Because there's just something about I want to say the word guarding. They're guarding like your forward movement. Like they're guarding, because I'm seeing like news team assemble, and like there's like 3 or 4 people. Like I just feel like you're being encased. So if you kind of feel, this wasn't what I was gonna say, but I'm hearing the word claustrophobic, which is weird. But like if you're feeling a little like, it's just because they're standing super close to you. Like, that's the way I want to say. They're, like, up your ass. But, like, in the best way possible. Like, in the best way possible for the best reason possible is the way that I want to say it. There's something about, they're pulling me back to your crown. There's something about an influx of knowledge that you may not have realized was a thing or been thinking about that's going to come in. Some people call them downloads, aha moments, connection, like it doesn't matter what it is, but they're just talking about how you're gonna start understanding, thinking, and doing things that you don't remember learning, is the way that I want to say that. Like you're gonna wake up having a better sense of things, is maybe the way that I want to say it. Like I don't want to call it ancient knowledge because I feel like that like sounds so mystical. But it's like there's just this understanding, this deeper understanding of things that I feel is going to hit you on the backside. Like once your transition is done, you're all of a sudden going to be like, where did that come from? Like what? Like why did I say that? Or like why did I know to do that? Or why does this not bother me anymore? Why am I at peace with this? There's like this kind of influx of knowledge of like you picking up on something that you didn't necessarily study for. Like that's the way that I want to say it. It's part of the enlightenment, part of your growth is the way that I want to say that. It's part of the enlightenment, part of your growth. But you can't rush through your transition. I feel like that's what they're telling you right now is that you can't rush through your transition. You can plan big, go home kind of thing, but you can't rush through it. As much as you may want to push straight through it, you can't. I'm going to be honest, I don't think your team's going to let you. I don't think your team's going to let you just right through it. And I feel like I need to throw this for you before we, like, finish. No longer, like, accepting your magic, no longer sacrificing yourself. Accepting your magic, no longer sacrificing yourself. Yep. Review the past, balancing the wheel. This child is often the child's self. Sometimes it's things we've adopted from way back when, but it's also innocence. It's a 7. It's also the seeker of things. Seeker of knowledge, seeker of understanding, understanding. I want to tell you there's beauty in what you do. Like that's the way that I want to end this. I want to tell you that there's beauty in what you do. So if you ever doubt yourself, if what you do is purposeful, if the little things you do matter, if anybody notices, they do. And I want to tell you there's a shit ton of beauty in what you do. In what you do, the way you do it. And I don't just mean your career. I mean all aspects of your literal life is the way that I want to say it. I say beauty in the breakdown and destruction. Oh, well then that could be why. That could be why. I'm going to scroll back through, read your comments. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want anything clarified. Let me know. Check in. Hold on. I want to check in. Okay. Hey, Miss Rooted. I've been trying to set up a new routine and enforcing boundaries. Oh, holy hell. I've been trying to forgive myself for my mistakes when I wasn't awake. You did the best you had with what you know what I mean? You did the best you could with what you had. Like, you have to not hold yourself to you can't hold your past self to a current day standard. Like, let's think about that. You cannot hold a past version of you to a current day standard. They don't have the same tools. They don't have the same knowledge. They didn't go through the 3 life lessons that it took you to learn that. You know what I mean? And I know you're a very, like, rational person, you know, and sometimes we just need to kind of understand that that's just it. They didn't have the knowledge that you had now. I'm trying not to dwell and manifest more of that fear. But we can't ignore the fear. Ignoring fear is what causes it to manifest because we feed it subconsciously. Facing our fear is what causes our fear not to be manifested. And some people have to face their fear in the 3D. So some people will manifest their fear. It's okay. Because when you manifest your fear, it's to show you that it's not as terrifying as you thought it was. Because chances are you're living your fear and you just didn't see it. And that's what a lot of people don't understand about that. Thank you so much for the rose. Thank you. I'm learning to trust hearing their voices. Chancala? Please tell me that's like chancala, like Spanish for slipper. Chancala? Like, please tell me, because that would be the best That would be the best name ever. Thank you so much for the follow. I hope that's how you say your name, because that would be fantastic. If it's not, I'm so sorry for butchering it. Like bridging the gap to my mediumship skills more. Yes, I've always been a leader. Review is painful. Can you tell who's coming through in the team? It was just your feminine who was doing most of the talking. Your masculine was pretty quiet, although your feminine was not standing right next to me. She was a little bit further away. She wasn't revealing her face. But I want to tell you she's slender. Which I don't know why, because she didn't give me any images. But I want to tell you she's slender. So I don't know if you have one who's slender, and maybe that's like a sign. But I want to tell you she's slender. Yeah, I want to tell you she's slender. But I don't know why. I don't know why she's describing herself as slender. But she is. It would be, and it's your guide. It's not a dead person. I just feel like she's not all the way incorporated. Is the way that I want to say it. I feel like, I want to almost use the word learning alongside you. I want to use that word, learning alongside you. It just makes me feel like she stands a little further away because she's not fully adopted. Maybe not fully adopted by you. I just get the feeling like you haven't utilized her that much. That's the way that I want to say it. Have you been getting, I want to use the word stress headaches. Have you been getting like a stress headache or something that's been wrapping across the front, like, just above the eyebrows, you know, like, because when I try to feel into her, I'm getting instant stress headache, like right across the front. And I just feel like that's the level of dis-ease when you try to make contact with her. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. Like, it's almost like you're trying so hard you're stopping yourself. That's the way that I want to say it. It's almost like you're trying so hard you're stopping yourself. And I almost want to say it's like she's trying equally as hard. And you guys are, I don't want to say canceling each other out, but it's like you guys are both trying really hard. And then it's like one person tries a little too hard and scares the other. And then everyone backs up. And it's just like a little bit too much cloudiness. Like a little bit too much of the head being used and not enough of the soul being used. And that's where the cloudy stress headache comes from. Because you can't think through her connection. She doesn't connect through thinking. It's a soul connection. She has to be felt, to be... She's saying known. I was going to say understood, but she's saying known. She's like, exactly. Exactly. I do feel like she's been trying to talk to you. Like, I do feel like she's been trying to talk to you. 1,000%. Felt, not thought. Like, this is what she keeps, like... Are you an auditory person? Are you an auditory person? Do you hear with clairaudience or a lot of, or maybe, clair vision? I don't know. Do you see pictures? Are you given images? in your head, because to me, it makes me feel like those are your mentally inept abilities to where we're using our brain. She just keeps saying she requires your soul. She just keeps saying it on repeat. I require your soul. Not like, I'm gonna take your soul. like, no. But more of like a, you have to feel me kind of a thing. So that's why it's hard. Because you're trying to use your pattern abilities on her. And it's not that she can't communicate to you that way. It's not that she can't. It's not that she can't. She is challenging you almost like to evolve and to branch out into other abilities. Like to branch and flex other muscles. But it comes with a form of trust, because when you can't see it and you can't hear it, there's a greater chance it's bullshit. Like, I'm gonna tell you that for real. I'm gonna tell you that for real. There's a greater chance you're gonna question all your shit. There's a greater chance that doubt is gonna be way more present. There's a greater chance that you're gonna think you're off your rocker, or you're gonna adopt a feeling as yours that's not actually yours. She's kind of giggling. She's like, exactly. But she's going to start bridging you through into listening. And that's what part of the listening message I feel like was actually, is listening for her. But not listening for her with your ears. Listening for her with your feeling, with your heart, with your soul, with your knowing, which is more in the lower Dantian. It's that urge to say something, urge to do something, that's where she going to bridge the gap with you. You know what I mean? You know? What did I miss? Welcome in, Miss Lori. I see movies and hear voices in my head, which loops the trust back in. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah, she's there to push you. She's working side by side. Side by side with your ask. Side by side with your ask. Oh. Are you working with the divine feminine? Like, goddess or deity? Wall tap for confirmation. First wall tap of the night. Besides your ask. She's working beside your ask. But yeah, that's what she's saying. That's what she's got going on. So that's where she's trying to bridge you through to. Which is challenging all the spaces and places. But I hope that helps you. Do you have any other questions or anything that you would like clarified? That's funny. I appreciate the humor. Patron. I hope you have a good night, dude. I have Mr. Shadow on the list. And then I'm going to do last call. And I'm just waiting to see if you have any other questions. No, I'm trying not to ask about him. Just let him be. Okay. Yeah, the sole focus is you right now. Nobody else came out on my table as a focus point. So the sole focus is you right now. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're always supporting and always kind, and I appreciate it. Miss Kalilia. Welcome in. I have Mr. Shadow on my list, and I'm doing last call. So if you would like to get on the list, it is last call. We are doing 1555. We have Cash App, we have Venmo, and we'll do all the things. The only thing I ask is that if you choose to donate, you come back in and you let us know how you donated, and that way we don't miss nobody. Mr. Shadow, good evening. Why I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because your handle is Shadow or what, but I always just kind of get like vibes like Shruthi, how's it going? Like I don't know. Just like old world like Dracula vibes, but not like the creepy one where he's killing half the village. Like, you know, just like the one where he's like casually sipping his wine, which is really like blood. You know what I mean? I don't know. But not in a cringy way, but just that like mystical kind of a question mark. You know what I mean? To where it's just like, good evening. Like, I don't know. It always makes me laugh. Always makes me laugh. Anyway, sir, what can I love the little thingies. Thanks. Thank you so much. What can I do for you, sir? Do you have a question or a topic? Or are we firing from the hip with a general? General? I freaking knew it. I knew it. Sometimes I just need to not ask because, like, I knew it. Are you holding your cards close to your chest? Like, not physically, obviously, but metaphorically. Do you enjoy... Okay, now I feel like there's a reason why I said the whole thing that I said about being a mystery. Do you enjoy being a mystery? Does it like kind of get you kind of excited, but not in a weird way? You know what I mean? Just kind of like when you know that people can't figure you out. Like there's almost like it's like this cat and mouse game almost that it's like I feel like you get enjoyment out of. Like almost like knowing that like I kind of hold things close to my chest. Like you think you know me, but you don't. Like and it's like almost one of these like ha 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 like kind of a things. I don't want to call it part of the ego, but it's actually like something that is fun for you, like, and not at the detriment of anybody else because you're not harming anybody, but it's like it's very interesting. I feel like you're one who likes their secrets. Wall tap for confirmation. Up in the sky from your tall ass guy, like. I just feel like you're someone who likes their secrets. I'm going to tell you right now, you've been seen. You've been seen, boy. That's what I want to tell you. They are saying be careful. Be careful what you choose to hold close to the chest. Because you are a natural holder. He's talking about you holding on to more than you remember that you do. And it's more than just like my little fun, playful secret. You also hold your burdens close to the chest. You also hold your troubles close to the chest. And there's something about a defensive position that you tend to find yourself in as you breathe. That's weird. As like... I don't want to say like it's like I don't want to say you live in defense. That's not what I want. That's not what I want to say. But it's almost like you ready to go. Like at any breath, you ready to go. Like and not run for the hills. Like I want to say you like not afraid. Stand up. Stand up for your whole chest. Like that's the way that I want to say it. How's connection been for you? How's talking to big man been for you? Have you been having any issues? Like, maybe with solidifying connection, or, that's funny, I split the deck on secrets. I don't want to say that there's I don't want to say like a problem hearing him. That's not what I want to say. But it's almost like, are you questioning the channel? Are you like, do you feel like you're on like he's on 99.8 and you're on 99.6? Like, do you feel like you're just kind of missing the full-fledged channel a little bit? There's just something that makes me feel like there's something that I feel is lacking when I'm focusing on Mr. Tall Guy. Is the way that I want to say it. And it physically hurts my heart. Is he like your this is gonna sound dickish, but is he like your comfort blanket? Is he the one that you rely on the most? My ride or die guide? Like, I don't want to call him your birth guide, but like, been there through the thick and thin. Because there's just like this pain. There's just this pain in the heart space. And I'm not sure if it's because it's because of a lack or a loss or something, but like, it almost feels like a hole, like something's missing, or something's like, I'm not happy with something. And I'm not necessarily sure if it's fully connected to him yet. Or, but I just get a lot of like, I don't want to even say questioning, like almost unsure, like maybe we're just not trusting it all the way, like maybe something shifted or changed, or the rules of engagement changed a little bit or something like that, to where it's like, I want to tell you it's not a bad shift though. Like, I want to tell you it's not a bad shift. I want to tell you that like it's to further your like growth. I want to tell you it's to further your pushing for more, for better, for whatever. I want to tell you it's not a bad thing. I'm hearing the word temporary because I feel like he's going to give you it in small doses. I don't feel like he's going to bombard you with like weeks of silence. I feel like he's slowly changing the way you interact, and I feel like it has to do with your frequency, but a lot to do with his frequency. I don't know if you've realized his growth, which is so weird, but I don't know if you've realized his growth in the space when he works with you, that you guys are kind of like each other, in the fact that he elevates in order to elevate you, in order to assist you in elevating you, so that he can almost like challenge you and challenge the way you do things, is the way that I want to say it. And there's just something about that this is part of his most recent growth, which is trickling into your most recent growth. That's the way that I want to say that. And I'm not sure why he's doing this. But I guess it forms an infinity if you slow it down. But he is doing this, the flip over. And the thumb is out. The thumb is out. The thumb's not in. The thumb is out. Well, it's bent. It's bent. It's out, but it's bent. Yeah, he kind of got long fingers, doesn't he? I mean, I got little sausage hands, but he's kind of got long fingers, doesn't he? I feel like I feel like you're missing is him. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like you're missing is him, and I feel like it knocks you off kilter, and not in a bad way. feel like I don't want to use the word longing, but I feel like you're like missing the connection is the way that I want to say it. I feel like you're missing the connection. Like from an emotional standpoint and from like a physicality standpoint. Like there's just like this narrow miss that is happening is the way that I want to say it. Like, because it's not that he's not present, because he's physically right here. Like, it's not that he's not present. Sorry, I almost poked him. It's not that he's not present. It's just, it's like a miss. Do you have a room? Do you have a room that you go to sit on the bed with him? That sounds really bad, but do you have a room that you go to sit? I'm gonna say on the bed, to sit on the bed with him. Like that's the way that I want to say it. Like, are you comfortable? Is it your bedroom? Do you sit and have chit chats in the bedroom? Like, is that where you meditate? Maybe that's where we meditate, because there's a part of sitting in stillness that hasn't been happening. There's a part of sitting in stillness that hasn't been happening, and I want to tell you that it's like you're starting something. He's stepping back on purpose. Like it's like twofold. He's like forcing your hand. He's like forcing your hand, whether you want it to be that way or not, is the way that I want to say it. It's like, I want to tell you he's showing you. I want to tell you he's stepping back on purpose so that you're not so reliant on him and you're reliant on you. He hasn't left though. He's not, he's saying like currently he's not left the space. He's not like, bye, and then like completely abandoned you. It's like one of those things like he's letting you swim, and I want to tell you hate it. That's what I want to tell you. I want to tell you hate it, and I want to tell you it's causing you some grief. I want to tell you it's causing you a little bit of that like longing, despair is almost what I want to say, but like not super dramatic, but we know how we love our team. Like, I feel like it's stirring up emotions that you may not have known were there, is the way that I maybe want to say it. Ow! I'm sorry. Ow. Good Lord. But I feel like it's all for a purpose, and the reason I say that is because I do have the Seven of Pentacles that just popped out here, and I feel like that's good things that come to fruition. Fruition. But I feel as though this is forcing you to have to focus somewhere else. And I think that this is part of your inner journey, and I feel like it really does have something to do with family. Like, it has something to do with family. And I feel like this is part of where you're starting to bridge out of. This is part of your, I want to say maturing. That's the way that I want to say it. Part of your maturing and part of your level up is standing by yourself, like, for a second. Because he's calling you resilient. He is. He's calling you somebody who's kind of been through it and isn't afraid to kind of like good old 1-2 and kind of overcome a lot of obstacles and a lot of battles in your life thus far. But now this is like when you fight in yourself and there's no outside adversary, it's almost like that standing in truth and your belief is the way that I want to say that. Ooh, Jesus. Have you been working with anybody on the outside, like physical, like not with inside self, but like have you been either collaborating with somebody or working closely with somebody? Because there is a little bit of this like fruitfulness that's coming out of this previously landed Seven of Pentacles, and it makes me feel like it's bridging this type of hard work into a fruitful outside development, into a fruitful 3D development as we move into like this 10 of Pentacles. And it makes me feel as though this is where you kind of get to usher in like your physical happiness, your physical abundance. Oof. Oof. Yeah. Dude, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. That's what I want to tell you. Whatever you're currently working on, just keep doing it. I have so many pentacles out here in the best possible way on this table that I feel like one ripples into the other. And there's just something about letting go of the past. And there's just something about focusing on the present and not dwelling in the past. And literally sitting in every moment and waking up like ready to go. Because there's a little bit of this like, I don't want to say like lackluster, but there's a little bit of this like downer energy, which is kind of really odd. But there's this downer energy that they're saying like is like part of you transitioning out of a space and into something else. And it's bringing up a lot of emotions. It's bringing up a lot of energy and motion, a lot of feelings. And they want you to kind of like acknowledge them, but don't get stuck in them. And this is part of the transition because you have a shit ton of positivity on the backside. Like a shit ton. Like we are counting our way to positivity. 7, 8, 9, 10 pentacles. Like we are counting upward. Makes me feel like it's a ladder, and it makes me feel like it's crescending forward is the way that I want to say it. Didn't I just say stand up for yourself? Like, you know what I mean? Like this is you standing up for yourself. Like that's the way that I want to say that. Like, I want to tell you as a masculine, you're balancing your shit. And like, congratulations is the way that I want to say that. Like, as a masculine, you're balancing your shit. Because you're balancing your shit with your feminine in mind. That's the way that I want to say it. You're balancing your shit with your feminine in mind. And I don't mean you're feminine on the outside. I mean you're feminine on the inside. There's just something about... There's something about kind of like fighting your way to victory. And, saying like being honest with you, like being honest with yourself, in what you're actually feeling, that you're like holding space for your feminine energy, like you're holding space for your feminine energy. And I feel the need to grab this deck, and this is usually more of like my healing lovey-dovey deck, in like a, not really, but it's like my lonely deck. But I feel the need to grab this, and I'm not 100% sure why, but we're going to figure her out. Honor yourself in going deep. That's what we just split it on, so that's going to be interesting. Oh my goodness. We literally have when all else seems ended. Into the plight of the lonely wanderer card. Into hope is like a hummingbird. And this is exactly what the other cards gave you. You're moving through the sadness. You're feeling the sadness. And you're going your lonely road on purpose. And he is allowing you to swim by yourself. Has this, like, back and forth trouble connecting happened, like, for a while? Like, weeks? Because it didn't feel that long in the beginning, but he just made, like, a weird statement, and it makes me feel like you've been, like, paddleboarding by your damn self for a minute. Like, and he's just kind of been close behind. You know, I always say it's like when you're in the shallow end and your mom puts you with the floaties and they want to see you swim by yourself, but they're in the pool in case something happens. Like, that's pretty much the energy that he's giving off right now. And I want to tell you, you may feel isolated and you may feel like you're alone, but you're not. You're being left alone, and you're being left alone with self. And that's the way that I want to say it. You're not alone, you're being left alone, and that's why this is part of this, like, hope of the hummingbird. There's, like, a hummingbird somewhere, I don't know, somewhere over here, and you're sitting here. You might not be able to see the hummingbird because it's so small, and you got to worry about the waves and the rocks and the emotions and things that come up in your review and whatever, like, but it's still there. It's still there. It's like that little guiding light. Time for healing is what I just split it on. I feel like this is your time to uncover yourself. And I don't necessarily just mean like... Literally, what? Wait a minute. We just got that watch over you card. Wasn't I just talking about how he was right there watching you? Like... Yeah, okay, wait a minute. They're both. That's wild. I didn't realize that there was two of, like, the very similar cards in this deck. I've had this deck for how long? It's literally a 44, which is on... Okay, this card is a 44, which it is 4-4, but 4-4 is also 8. These cards mirror each other, which is also an 8, which is wild, but it's literally one who watches over you, and this one says to watch over you. Like, stop. Like... If that wasn't any confirmation, he's stepping back on purpose. Like, isn't that just wild? Like, isn't that just wild? Isn't that just wild? Oh, my goodness. My goodness. I just... We got my Emperor out here. He's stepping back so you can gain your structure. He's stepping back so you can gain your own, like, your own stability. So you can stand up by your own 2 feet, and he's doing it on purpose. We got the Hermit card that just came out here, and I got my Foresight card out, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not taking it as Foresight. I'm taking it as almost like the travel back home, and travel back home being into self. Excuse me, especially paired with this Hermit card. I want to tell you, I don't know why, but when I looked at this Hermit card and like the traditional rider like drawing, I almost want to tell you like that this is him lighting your way. I don't know why I feel so confident in telling you that, like, he's literally towering over you, and can you feel him sometimes? And maybe that's why this is extra painful, because you can feel him towering over you, and then he still says nothing. Like that, he still remains in his own lane and just lets you, like, I keep getting scooted away from the table, and just makes you like, that's funny. I keep scooting away from the table, and he's removing himself. That's funny. Like, he's talking about help when needed. I help when needed. Help when needed. But he's not in the forefront right now. He's letting you do you. You don't like it. I'm going to be honest. I don't think you like it. I think you miss it. I feel like you kind of feel a little stuck, and it makes you feel stagnant because you're not charging forward with him, and it's because it's not time for that. You're looking for your spiritual something, and while he brings a lot to you and a lot of... He's saying cool stuff, like a lot of cool stuff to you. A lot of, like, messages, riddles, like, quests. Quests? He's a weird dude. A lot of quests. I love him. A lot of quests. Like, this is now your inward quest by yourself. Like, this is the leg of the journey that he does alongside you, but not for you, not with you, not with prompting from him. And this is where you have to dig down deep and find your inner strength. This is where you have to dig down deep to fulfill your own dreams, to create your own structure and stability. And this is part of practicing what you preach. This is part of showing what you've learned. This is part of owning what you guys have cultivated together. He doesn't want you reliant on him. But he loves you regardless. But he doesn't want you reliant on him. And there's just a part of this solitude that you are being left with nothing else to do but to find your inner guidance. And I don't think you like it. I just keep saying I don't think you like it. I don't think you like it. I don't think you like it. Do you have any questions, Mr. Shadow? I'm going to scroll back through, like always, and read your comments. This was kind of a weird one. I'm going to be honest. This was kind of a really weird one. But I think he just really wanted to let you know that he's not gone. And kind of why he's choosing to take a little baby step back. Like, I'm going to read your comments, though, because let me know if you have a question or something, or you want something clarified. My ear's ringing. My ear's ringing. Gonna walk the line. I'm so sorry. Fire away. I enjoy it because I know people have a hard time picking up on who I really am. 100%. It makes sense because I can't remember a big portion of my life. Oh, geez. And I learned not to be a doormat recently. Zero connection. Like it was a month ago. Jesus. He's the one that's been there forever. FYP. Thanks, Kalilia. Slenderman. Except not creepy. He's kind of like eye rolling. He's kind of eye rolling. He like giggled and then caught himself and eye rolled. Like, I just want to let you know that. Yeah, it's very specific place that we sit and talk internally. No, internally I meditate and him and I meet and talk. Okay, makes sense. Thank you, Shruti. Thank you. The downer feeling is the season change. Lots of emotions this time of year. Yeah, I decided recently not to be a doormat. Oh, goodness. The empathy inside is coming alive again. Perhaps that's the feminine. I'm getting nods. He's nodding. The lonely road is a choice I have to make. Regardless, it's me doing it. Weeks, yes. What did he say? When. I'm so sorry. When. When. I don't. I don't know what you mean. When. What time? I wasn't looking. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going through something that's going to change life. It's going to affect everything. I lose everything and I have to rebuild from nothing, which is okay because I've done it before, which is part of your resilience. And I think that's just what he's trying to get you to understand is this is not out of your wheelhouse. This is not out of your wheelhouse to have to do. But it benefits you, which is why I feel like all the pentacles are counting upward when all the cards were on the table, was because this was part of like your path, your crescendo, and that's why the strength card keeps flipping out as I'm just like shuffling for you. That's the inner strength to do what's needed and not what's wanted. You know? He speaks in Old English way, if that makes sense. Speaks in riddles so I can find it. Yeah. Like 1000% yes. But it's okay because I have a guide who speaks backwards. So I completely understand. I completely understand what he's getting at. And I've honestly found that it's when guides speak in riddles and stuff like that, sometimes it's literally just because it's more fun. I know that sounds weird. Sometimes it's their time period and who they choose to appear as, you know. But like sometimes it's because it sparks your interest. It sparks your drive to play the game, to figure it out, to, you know, and sometimes they do that, especially in the beginning, a ton, and then sometimes it'll kind of fizzle out. And you'll kind of like, once they no longer need to do that much, sometimes they'll stop, you know. We did last call, so I have to check spaces as soon as I'm done. What did he say earlier? I'm curious, the weird message. He's not repeating it. He's saying for certain ears. For certain ears. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel like the ears are yours for certain ears and not like he'll tell you later, like you don't need to know. Like, I know that sounds so shitty. That sounds so shitty. Oh god, ow. Oh, I think it just blipped out. Oh, he just blipped out. I don't have him here anymore. Well, he left the building pretty fast. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Michael, does Michael only want a relationship with me? What? Oh, does Michelle? I'm sorry, I read that wrong. I can't pull on Michelle's energy and her free will, but I can do a love relationship reading, in your highest greatest good or what you need to know, or if the relationship would benefit you, blah blah. But I can't pull on her free will, What needs to be, shouldn't have been done years ago. What needs to be, should have been done years ago. Also, he said something to you that made you laugh, and you said you didn't understand what he meant. Sounds like him. He's like that. Jeez. I'm sorry. Now I feel bad because I let him leave. And he didn't answer the question. He's not here no more though. He literally left. But I hope that helps. I had a really bad read from someone recently, and I wanted to double check. Oh my god. You had a bad read? I didn't get anything really bad. Everything just felt like working through feelings. Like, everything just felt like working through that self-discovery, that like, pull through, that, like, focusing on self and charging forward, like, but it's like on the backside of that was going to be a whole lot of good. But it wasn't going to be easy. Like, yeah, you're going to rebuild, but it's all bad. Oh, jeez. Well, I'm sorry that I'm sorry that happened to you. I can't speak for other people, but I'm really sorry that happened to you. And that is why we use intuition over here, and I don't just read cards, is because that's tough, dude. Like, I'm so sorry. And well, I'm confident in what your guide said today. Like, I'm confident in what Mr. Tall Guy said today. I'm not questioning what he said at all. That's the only read I've ever gotten like that. I'm going to tell you right now, regardless of who it is, if it's me, if it's somebody else, if it's your mother, like, it don't matter. If it doesn't resonate, don't adopt it. Like, if it doesn't resonate, do not adopt it. Because this type of thing is an art form. It is like a muscle. You have to practice it and train it. And sometimes you can be feeling into the wrong thing. Or you can look at something differently. Or you can accidentally be projecting. Or you could, you know what I mean? So, like, yeah. That's tough, though. Like, I'm sorry. That's tough. If it doesn't resonate, don't adopt it. You know what I mean? Like 1,000%. Even if I say something, like I tell my clients this all the time. If I say something and it doesn't resonate, it's fine. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. I really do, because we try very hard. We try very hard here to always come correct and no bullshit, and I just share what we get. You know what I mean? Always what you need to hear, not always what you want to hear. And I'm sorry you had a bad read from somebody else, dude. Like, because I don't get bad shit from your energy. I really don't, but I'm an energy person. I don't get bad shit from your energy, and your guy was not giving me doomsday. The fact that he left tells me he was satisfied with what was said. So I don't get doomsday. Like, so focus on you to be able to focus forward. You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate you so much, Mr. Shadow. Like, thank you, dude. Thank you for allowing me in your space, your time, your energy. Thank you for Mr. Tall, Crypt Keeper. He gonna plop back in and smack me in the head and leave. For spending time in space, dude. Like, so I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, Kalilia. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate you. I'm gonna check spaces and I'm gonna be right back. I have... The list is now closed. I have Miss Deja on the list. Deja? I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not the best with spelling nor pronunciation. But we try. Are you here, Miss Deja? Deja? Okay. Oh, Deja. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, deja vu. I'm so sorry. My apologies, dude. Like, wholeheartedly my apologies. Do you have any questions or a topic that you would like felt into or pulled on? Thank you for all the love taps, guys. Thank you for all the time you guys are spending here. It is much, much appreciated. Just what's coming, what's going on in my situation, and what's to come. So a general. Okay, general. That's fine. That's fine. Nope, not this deck, though. I go to shuffle it and they're like, put it down. Okay. We'll put it down. Is your team kind of snappy? Like, do you have like a... I don't want to call them sassy, but I feel like you have a sassy team. It gives me kind of like fiery mom vibes. When your mom wasn't afraid to smack you. Like, that's like kind of that kind of a thing. Like, you know, like, do it again. Do it one more time. See what happens. Like, kind of that kind of a team. Like, alright, let's see what you got going on. God, I just feel like you have so many fiery feminines. I literally want to tell you off the bat, I just feel like you have so many fiery feminines, and I feel like there's like a gaggle of them. They're all just like, like, oh, like, like in the background, like, do it. Like, it's like, I don't know, you just have so many firecrackers is the way that I want to say it. But I feel like that group of feminine knows their worth. I feel like that group of feminines, like, takes no shit from nobody. Like, that's the way that I want to say it. And I feel like that's what you're capable of. That sounds bad, but I feel like that's what you're capable of. I feel like you might struggle sometimes, though, with holding your ground. With asserting yourself, maybe. But I feel like you have a line of sassy feminines at your disposal, is the way that I want to say that. At your disposal. You know that feeling? You know that feeling like when you're out in the cold and your breath kind of gets tingly, but like in your chest and in the back of your throat, where your breath feels quote unquote cold to the fact where it like freezes on the way out? That just happened. So that's interesting. Let's see what you have going on, Miss Deja. Miss Deja. Deja vu who? I'm going to shuffle this one more time. What does Miss Deja have going on? I'm gonna flip these over in a second. Are you being played with? Or are you the one playing games? Because there's like, I feel like, and as I flip these over, I feel like it's almost like this stuck kind of feeling. Like trapped, but it's giving me push-pull energy. Like it's giving me like slapped and then here's a cookie. Punched and then here's a cookie. Punched, here's a cookie. It's giving me like almost like somebody is like, I don't know, like almost making you pine for something is maybe the way that I want to say it. Like making you having to like work for something that should be granted, almost like is kind of the way that I want to say it. I'm here. I'm gonna tell you right now. These cards and what I'm hearing is two separate things, and I don't know if that's the division that you have in yourself right now, because these cards right now, as it stands right now, are not suggesting this. However, somebody is saying like narcissist in my ear, and I'm not 100% sure yet why, but I'm hearing the word narcissist in my ear, even though it is not currently out on my table. However, the need for you to stand in your power is out on my table. The need for you to free yourself from the construct that you are trapped and you can't escape, you can't get out, you don't know what to do. They want you to break out of that. Like, they keep talking about how you're strong, and they're just kind of talking about like a new emotional beginning for you, but I'm not necessarily getting it as a relationship right now in the energy only. I'm not getting it as a relationship. I'm almost getting it as like a depths to self. Like as a, this is something that you're going to have to kind of come to terms with within self, and this is part of this stand-up. I don't know, is there someone who's like kind of immature? Like, are you around somebody who's kind of like immature? I want to call you naive at times, but I don't feel like this immaturity is your energy. I feel like this is energy surrounding you. I feel like this is energy around you. And I feel like this has you questioning yourself. Someone just said seriously. Questioning yourself. Almost to the point where like, it's not even just questioning what you're doing. It's like questioning who you are. Like, you're a good person. Like, I want you to know you're a good person. Like, I feel like that's super important that we just get that fucking out right now. Ooh, sorry. Your team's fiery and they need to calm down before I get banned. Like, but I feel like this is part of them being angry for you. Like, They are angry for you. When you want to talk about ancestral rage, someone done lit the whole match for you. Like, lit the whole torch. Like, lit the whole damn beacon. Like, shoop. Like, and I want to say, like, you're still in recovery, is the way that I want to say it. You're still in recovery. And I do feel as though they're here to assist you in kind of ushering in, I almost want to call it like that, I don't want to say pride, but like that oomph that you may have felt like you've lost from somebody, like, not, I want to say playing fair, for somebody not being a team player. Like, I want to say, they're using the word unhappy couple. I'm going to be honest, it's not out on my table, but they're using the word unhappy couple. If you've ever had a feeling like he held you back from your abundance, he did. But not because he was in the picture. Because you lessened yourself in order to be with him. Because you made yourself smaller, you were blocking your own blessings. He was not blocking your abundance. Because you were attempting to fit where you did not belong, you put everything to a screeching halt. Yeah. And I want to tell you that, and I tell some of my mentees this sometimes, like, I want to tell you that just because something wasn't for you doesn't mean every second of every day had to be bad. So you're allowed to have good moments in a bad relationship. And I feel like there's a part of you that needs to come to terms with the fact that not every second of every day was bad. There was good things about what you had, and some things were slightly fulfilling in certain types of ways. And I feel like this is part of this battle, this almost like this mind game of self-judgment that comes on the backside of this having closed out. But I feel like you're still in the precipice of learning kind of how to go forward. And I feel like that's why my victory card is kind of like out. Like, I kind of feel like that's kind of why my victory card is out. With that Knight of Coins, it's that slow, steady movement towards victory. Because we're just not quite there yet. You're not deeming yourself a victor. You moved. And I want to say you escaped self-destruction because you were the only person destroying you. In a sense, now don't get me wrong, we're not saying he was an angel. But like, in a sense, because you put up with so much, because you tried to fix so much, because you tried to make it better so much, because you tried to just do and do and do and do and do and give to you, you were hurting yourself twice as fast. And you were only helping him at 1/8 of a pace because he didn't want it. And that's the part that you had to learn, the hard lesson, that you can't help those who don't want help. You fell in love with the potential of somebody because you see the goodness in everybody. It's a blessing and a curse. You see the goodness in everybody and you fell in love with that. But that's not what you were currently seeing in the mirror standing in front of you when it came to this person. And then that was your realization, was that you can want something for somebody, but they don't want it for themselves. And this has triggered your healing journey, but this has also triggered your stand-up moment. That's what I want to tell you. This has also triggered your stand-up moment. You need to be kinder to yourself, like a whole hell of a lot kinder to yourself. You already started your forward wheel movement. You've already started your good fortunes on the backside. But there's just something about your need. The kindness card was on the bottom of the deck because I say you need to be kind to yourself. There's just something about you need to kind of cut yourself some slack because you are so hard on you. Like, so hard on you. I want to tell you that you trusted your instincts. It just took you a second to give in. And I feel like part of the healing that you're doing right now is requiring you to trust your instincts a whole lot more. And it's kind of scary. That's the way that I want to say it. It's kind of scary. And I feel like there's like a thought of, are you like questioning how you'll provide for yourself? I know that sounds weird, even though I feel like you're a very capable person. Do you question your current stability physically? Like, not even mentally, not emotionally. Like, are you questioning your current stability physically? Because there's just a little bit of like this, the kindness card actually just came out for you. But there's almost like a little bit of this like hesitation of like not knowing if you'll almost like provide for yourself, or like there's just this fear or this doubt that is kind of holding you back a little bit from like fully stepping into your fullest power, is the way that I want to say it. Fully branching in to my I give no fucks period of your life. And re-owning your power. And I feel like that's what your feminine gang over here, Miss Sassy Pants, as we had the fool. Shut up. As I split the deck, literally on the Fool card, like, and then, why can I not remember the name of these cards? And then the Queen of Wands, which is literally all trying to, like, talk about owning your flame, and that's what the deck was just split on, so... And I just feel like this is part of that era of your life that you're working through right now. And I want to tell you that you have forward movement, and I do, because I have this Knight of Wands out here, and I feel like I want to say you are like blown on by the rage of your ancestors, and that's the way that I want to tell you. Like, they are helping you do your re-rise. And I'm saying your re-rise because I feel as though even though you weren't maybe super confident when this relationship happened, it's almost making me feel as though you kind of lost confidence while inside the relationship to now where you even feel even more less confident than you were before it had begun. But I want to tell you you're optimistic. Like, that's what I want to say. I want to tell you you're optimistic because I feel like, Tower and Judgment. But for some reason, I feel like this Judgment is like optimism this time. Whereas last time it was talking about you're judging yourself too harshly. I feel like this is optimism. And I feel like this is you kind of trying to put your best foot forward. Working on your stability. I literally have my 5 of Coins, which is like moving through material, like hardship and a little bit of struggle bus, into literally my Wands, my 4 of Wands, which is my backwards to go forward from 5 to 4 to create stability, coming out with my 10 of Pentacles, so finishing out with my like fulfillment, with my good fortune, with my good solid beginnings, because there's just something about this deck that they put it in, like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a tree of life. You know what I mean? Like, it's that tree of life that makes me feel like this is a divine beginning. And we have the 10 of Cups on the back, or on the bottom of the deck, so it makes me feel like those two energy paired together is balancing everything out. And I just feel... Shut up. The Ace of Pentacles. It's literally your physical new beginning. Excuse me. After your emotional new beginning, right? So your physical new beginning comes after your emotional new beginning, which is currently what you're doing once you release the pain and the heartache of the heart. Once you release it, once you overcome it, once you move past it. And part of that is looking your fear straight in the face. So if you think you can't do it, you can. Remember, it is your slow and steady movement towards your victory. It is your slow and steady movement towards your victory. And I'm going to be honest, it's going to be a road. But I feel as though you're going to gain momentum while you're traveling the road. And I feel like you can thank your feminines who have come before you for that. Because I really do feel like they're the lightning strike of this tower. that is just ushering in all the forward movement, like all of this Knight of Wands energy, that fast, fiery movement, and they're trying to just usher you into your re-come up is the way that I want to say it. It's not even like this is your first time. Like, no, it's like your revamp, like, is the way that I want to say that. Woo! Woo! We're pinning cards now to the table. I got the Sun card out here, and while, yeah, this is joy and this is excitement, this is also fire energy. This is also passion, but this is also success. This is also completion. You're going to be successful moving through this. It's just going to be a journey. Like, that's the way I want to say it, dude. It's going to be a journey. Like, let's see if they got anything else to say. Let's see if they got anything else to say. Oof. Sparky. We got the butterfly out here, which just further confirms your transformation. And I don't know why they're taking me back. I don't think I've ever said this out loud to anybody. But do you realize this? They just put this in my head. Do you realize that butterflies can't see their own wings? So they don't even realize how beautiful they are. It's out of the scope of their sight. They can't see their own wings. And I feel like that's super important because they want to pull me back to that for you, and the fact that you don't see it yet. You don't see it yet because we're moving through cocoon stage. You don't see it yet. You don't see how beautiful you are because you're too close to it. And I feel like that's super important. Pressures make diamonds. Pressures make diamonds as I split the deck. This is part of getting back to you, and the other card, which I didn't show. Oh, purification, thank you. The other card, which I didn't show, is purification, but it makes me just feel like you're getting back to you. You're getting back to the... No, we're not doing books. You're getting back to the root of who you are to the core. When you deny them and you say, no, we're not doing books, and then they throw out an even bigger book on the table. Did anybody hear the slap of that book? No? The diamond card, again. Literally, air and abundance. Change your perspective and watch the world change. That's literally what they're talking about. You were put in a pressure cooker to turn coal into diamonds. You're in the middle of your butterfly, your regeneration, your rebirth, your regrowth, your re-stand up, and you just don't see it yet. You don't see how important you are. You don't see how beautiful you are. You don't see your own worth yet. This is part of your change of perspective, which is this air, this mental switching of how you view things. You're not stuck. You're not stagnant. You're not trapped. You're transitioning. We are the most vulnerable when we are transitioning. I feel like 1111 is going to be a really good number for you. Don't ask me why, but I really do. I have zero other than the fact that they just said that, and I don't typically tell people like 1111 ever. But for whatever reason, 1111 is going to be important for you. I don't know why. I thought about it when the clock was 1112, and I ignored it because I was like, but it's not 1111. And then I'm staring at these cards with all the ones on the table, and they just keep shouting 1111. So I'm just going to tell you 1111 may be a guiding number for you. It might be a sign or a synchronicity that you see over the next couple days. I don't know. But I'm going to just be honest. That's a number for you that I would be like, oh, okay. But there's just a part of this radiance that is you. There's a part of this, like this inner, like, shine that you're just getting back. And I feel like this is you fully embracing. And I want to pull this top card. Shut up. I go, I want to pull this top card. Why am I pulling this top card? It's this damn sage card again. Like, it just makes me feel like this is your, I want to call it like your sweet 16, like your coming out party. This is like you're reintroducing yourself, but you got to find yourself first. And that's letting go of everything you're not. Slow and steady wins the race is what I want to tell you. And your greatest victory lies behind your biggest fear. That's what I want to tell you. Your greatest victory lies behind your biggest fear. So find the fears and unbury them backwards. Find your biggest fear first and unbury that one. And then go down the line. Because there's just something here about your fear is what's keeping you stuck. You're not actually stuck. Is what I want to tell you. Is literally what I want to tell you. Like 1,000%. 1,000%. am going to scroll back through these comments and see what you got. If you have any questions or if you would like anything clarified that we talked about or something like that, like, let me know, and we'll do it. We'll totally do it. I don't mind doing it. Oops. Let me scroll back through. So if you have any questions, comments, something like that, just go ahead, drop them down. We'll roll back through all these comments and see where we at. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the love and support. This team has a chunk of love. Dude, the fact that that word has been used several times tonight makes my soul happy. I'm in Aries and my mom is a Cancer with an Aries moon. Yes. Oh, that's me. And I lost it, but I'm getting it back to a toxic relationship. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Oh, have a great night, Shruti. Yes, that's how I have felt. I wondered if anyone had put anything on me. Yes, my ex, he put his hands on me. He's in jail now, and he may bail, and I have to go talk and don't. But I'm trying hard to get me back and not play games with anymore. Yeah, no, there's no excuse for putting hands on anybody. I don't care what anyone says. My physical belief, I don't need spirit for that. There's no excuse for a man putting hands on a woman ever. Ever. Been there, done that. No excuse. I do feel that they have my back so much and I love them. Oh my god, 1,000%. Beacons are lit. Lilia, stop. Yeah, I wanted to help, and I came to realize that's not my job. Dude, but like, pause for a second. That is the hardest thing to learn, because from your energy, I don't get the feeling that you wanted to help because you wanted to control anything. I get the feeling you wanted to help because you gave a fuck. Because you cared. You have a big ass heart, dude, and a lot of times your heart gets you into trouble because you sacrifice yourself in following what you believe to be your heart. But to truly follow your heart, you never have to sacrifice yourself. And the fact that you came to this realization yourself, like, is huge. So don't overskip it. Like, it's time to clap for ourselves. Like, don't overskip it. That's huge. That is what hurts, and I'm still healing. I had to give up the dog and everything. I hope he being loved. Okay, fur babies. Fur babies are hard. I'm not even going to downplay that one. Fur babies are hard. Fur babies are so hard. Super duper hard. 1,000%. I fought tooth and nail for my fur babies, so I understand all of that. 1,000%. I made so many threats when it came to my fur babies. Thank you so much for the follow, by the way. But, dude, that's super tough, and I feel for you all the way. Yeah, that's why I also left due to the fight, and yeah, because I felt like I let Deja down. Yes, death's scary. Yeah, I had to move away from the state with my grandma, who's very old. I'm trying to keep hopes up and move on. Oh my goodness, dude, this is wild. I'm so sorry you had to go through all of this. I feel that re-rise and not stopping doing my brand and working so hard to save money. Yes. Dude, you can do anything you put your mind to. Not a single thing that you cannot do. And I really need you to say that to yourself as many times until it sinks in. There is not a single thing you cannot do. I had somebody at a very pivotal point in my life said that to me on repeat for about a year, and it finally sunk in. There is not a single thing that you cannot do. And you're doing it already, and that's the point. You're not trying. Trying is the act of doing. In order to try, you have to already be doing, you know? I need to hear this too, thank you. Oh my goodness, 1,000%, Miss Kalilia. You already know, dude. That's what I need to hear. Oh, I'm so sorry. I love them so much. I see them all the time. Oh my goodness. I love sage. Oh, dude, sage is fantastic. Sage is fantastic. And if you mix sage with some tobacco, amazing. Yes, I'm getting back and doing it slowly and steady. I don't mean to smoke it. I just mean like to burn it. I know tobacco people think you smoke it. No, like just like burn it. Fantastic. Do I have to go to court? Do I have to go to court? I do. Do I have to go to court? I do if he bail. And should I take help from the DV people? You have to ask yourself, your team's telling you to ask yourself, why are you refusing help before even, like, why are you questioning getting help? And if it's a reason because you don't want to look a certain way or you don't think that you deserve it, there are other people more deserving of it, they're telling you to stop. But if it's because you don't think you truly need it, because you're okay right now, then that's a fine answer, but they're telling you to analyze your answer. So will you have to go to court if he bails? Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna be really honest. They're not giving a clear answer. It's coming out really heavy on the maybe. They're not giving a sharp answer. But they're pulling me back to, and this is gonna sound super awful, so just know that I love you. But they're talking about fixing your self-concept and your low self-esteem. And I feel like they're telling you to work on that because that's the only thing that keeps you hesitant in going to court. Is the fact that, one, it's not easy to face somebody. It's not, especially not in that dynamic nor situation. So we're not downplaying any of that. So don't get that twisted. But the idea that you might have to is causing more agony within self than it needs to, is the way they're saying it. Because they're talking about at no point are you coming out of court unhappy. At no point would you come out of court unsatisfied. At no point would you be left by yourself without them behind you. So it's very much giving the feeling of like coming together to face the enemy than anything else. It's still coming out as maybes. They literally just threw 3 more maybe cards. I don't even know how many maybe cards are in this deck, but they literally just threw 3 more maybe cards out. So I don't know if they're going to give me an answer. They're talking about like moving parts. Like a lot of moving parts. So it makes me feel like the energy is not set in stone. And if the energy in the present isn't set in stone to a certain degree, then that almost kind of leaves the tail end of what's to come so open-ended that I want to say they can't speak on it in the way of if you go or if you don't, or if he's going to do this or if he's going to do that. But they are saying regardless if you go, you will have temporary struggles, like temporary difficulties. It'll be stressful. And they're talking about financially, it might be a little bit hard as well. Like, it might put a little bit of a strain on your pockets. Like, you might kind of struggle to kind of get through it. And it'll be kind of like an adversity situation to where it's like going to be difficult. But it makes me feel with all of this over here on the table, it makes me feel like that's transitioning you with coming together with this celebration card on the backside of all of this. In this, it makes me feel like it's a good outcome. It makes me feel like it's a moving forward and, you know, celebrating. I mean, nobody's ever happy, but like celebrating and coming to terms and reestablishing this strength with this team over here to my right behind you, moving through that healing process. And there's a little bit of not only a fear of change they want you to address, but also about your foresight and being careful not to project your fear on the future, thus manifesting it. Because there's a little bit of like a lack of perspective that you kind of have about it, because it is a fear and because it is something that does bring you anxiety, which is completely okay, like completely okay. But because it brings you such anxiety, they are just telling you to kind of rein it in and go day by day, because you can reach that when it gets to it. And at no point in time are they saying they're dropping you. At no point in time are you doing it alone at all. Now, let's do the other question. I have a really sassy little someone over here, and they're saying about your other question about if you should get help from certain people. She's saying if it's your pride, you need to drop it. She's saying if it's your pride that doesn't want you to accept help, you need to let it go. We're going to put those over there. We're going to put those over there. There's something about lightening the burden. So this person might be able to help you to lighten some of your burden. And I almost feel like it's your responsibility. I almost feel like it's like your duty, like the battle that you have not only within yourself, but like within your daily. I have 3 yeses, a Fool card, and a Tower. And I feel like your Tower is part of your teardown to be rebuilt, to be honest, because I have my Empress out here, which is my yes card, but I also have her as being like the birther of something new, and to have it after the Fool card, which is almost like I feel like your daring recklessness, you know, in this whole situation, this like achievement to kind of be willing to take risks, like paired with strength, which is also a yes card. It just makes me feel like, yeah, you could accept help if you wanted it. But there's a lot of held back emotions about doing it. I'm gonna be real honest. I got 3 more yes cards for you on that answer as to if you accepted it, if it would be beneficial. They're saying yes, but there's a lot of like, I feel the hesitation in your energy with accepting it. And before we even started any of these questions, your team was like, you need to ask yourself what the hesitation is. Because if it's something egotistical, like pride, or you don't want to look a certain way, or you don't want to seem as though, or maybe someone's more deserving of it than you, they're like, no, that's not a good reason. But if it's I don't think I actually need it right now, I think I'm okay, then they're okay with that reasoning. But they're asking you to be honest with yourself as to what the hesitation is, because it's pulling me back to that fear card from before. It's pulling me back to this is like a little baby fear that is masked as something else, that once you unmask is going to be a deeper seated fear than you even realized. That's the way that I want to say it. So they're having you kind of go inward with what you're doing. You know what I mean? Kind of having you going inward and figuring out exactly your why behind your hesitation, if that makes sense. I hope that helps, Miss Deja. I hope that helps, dude. I hope that helps. Let me scroll back. They want you focused in the present, Miss Deja. I just pulled on another question. Will his family come after me? They want you focused on the present right now, not the potential futures. And the reason I say that is because you're still actively escaping destruction. You're still actively making a break for it in your energy. You're still actively getting reaccustomed to life and getting out of the trickery and the gameplay and thinking of anything else besides your balance and your where you are right now, is causing so much mental overload for you and so much stress and anxiety that it's almost becoming part of like a deception, part of a obsession, into where you're putting so much energy accidentally, subconsciously, unbeknownst to you into this, that it's having a negative effect. It's almost like you're creating a not great reality timeline in the future. So they want you to do something different. You moved on. And that's the important part, is that you took the steps to move on. I have my justice card out here, and that makes me feel like things are in favor of you regardless of what they choose to do. But I'm telling you right now, like, I have my hope card out here. I have my faith card out here. And it just makes me feel like, yeah, this negative King of Wands energy, like this kind of dictator, tyrant, bully, whatever, kind of impulsively, abusively nasty kind of a person at times. Like, yeah, you know, he's out here as a bridge, you know what I mean? And he's an obstacle of yours, but they have you actively moving on from him. And I feel like whatever this is a reality check for him. Whether he might not handle it well is not your problem. It's coming in as a reality check for him that he done fucked up. And I don't mean that in a way like he gonna fix himself and everything's gonna be rosy. Like, no, I'm just saying it is hitting him whether he shows it or not. It is hitting him that he messed up. So he's gonna deal with that in an unhealthy way because he's not healthy. Like, because he's not at a point to deal with it in a mature growth sort of way. He's gonna be a little unhinged is the way that this is coming out over here. But the fact that I have my justice coming out like straight up and down, like, with all the glory, like, and they're telling you not to worry about it, they're telling you to rest. It makes me feel like you don't need to worry about the outcome of that. Like, you're gonna get the kind of closure you need. Like, that's the way that I'm saying it. Like, you're gonna kind of get the kind of thing that you are deserving of. Like, I mean, you're gonna have some rocky waters, but it's gonna shake out is the way that I want to say that. It's gonna shake out. With fire, and I'll take it day by day. I'm thinking positive, and just me never comes to get blessed. Well, dude, like, thank you. Like, I'm glad that this helped. Thank you for your time, your energy, you know, and waiting and hanging out and spending time with us. Thank you for everybody who did all the likes and all the love. Thank you for all the taps, the gifts, the donations, the this, the that, the shares, the follows, the favorites. If you got a read today, please keep in mind, all reads are posted to our YouTube channel within 24 hours. Time-stamped, so in case you do need to ever look over your read and re-listen to it, you are always welcome to do so. I will see you guys. Oh my God, thank you so much. No, 1,000%. You do you. You do you. You do you, Miss Deja. Like, Miss Kalilia is like doing her own glow up journey right now, and she is all the love, all the support always. So like, if you come in here, you're gonna see Miss Kalilia talking her shit all the time, like glowing up with everybody. Like, so this is the place to be if you need a little pep talk. Like, full facts. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending your time, your energy, and all of this great stuff today. I will see you guys tomorrow. I have a client in the afternoon, so I'm going to try to go early in the morning. If you do not see me early in the morning, then I will be back on in the evenings. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys later. Have a good night.